Welcome to Monday Night Live in Lexington. Today or this evening I have with me Sabrina Webb. She is a psychic medium here in Lexington, Kentucky, and she is the love goddess. She's here to give us a very special Valentine's Day presentation on all things about love. So tell us first just a little bit of your background. Like how many years of experience have you had? That's a lot. That looking at my notes over here is 40 years of experience. Tell me about that.
So I discovered that I was a psychic medium when I was 5.
Wow.
Which is unusual, but I was raised in a way that allowed me to be that psychic medium. So it wasn't shut down. It was really normal and common in my family and sort of a whole lineage through my ancestry thing. So I was really, really comfortable.
Yeah, that's so fortunate because a lot of people, their families stifle them, but from what I understand, yours kind of nurtured your abilities.
They did. They definitely did. And it was just what it was, honestly, Kathryn, is they normalized it. It was like brushing teeth, going and doing your homework. Oh, you had a dream. Let's talk about it. So that was something that I was very, very much blessed in, is that being intuitive and being sensitive and being aware, that was just something that was absolutely made okay. But of course, like any other human being, I went through my share of struggles. And one of the things that I dealt with early on, which is what I believe my soul was called to do, was work around love. And I had a lot of abuse issues growing up. I'm very public about that. I talk with folks about that a lot. I have survived domestic violence, domestic abuse, and all sorts and variances within that. And coming from a disempowered energy, my soul wanted to learn to be empowered with love, empowered with freedom and expression of your sensual side, your comforting side, all the things that I think of when I think of love. And so that was part of what I think I was put here to do, is teach once I figured out my own lessons.
Right, and so that's kind of how we got together on the idea about this. Yeah. Is because I feel like Sabrina is like women's issues, is so good at women's issues, and she helps so many women in the community who are seeking help with health, happiness, and love. And so today, our love goddess is going to share what with us on the following for Valentine's Day.
Well, I want to talk about how to be a love goddess today. So, you know, there's Aphrodite, there's Venus, there's Sabrina, and there's your version of a love goddess, right?
Right.
It has to be the you version of love goddess. So everybody has love goddess inside of them, whether they're male or female. It doesn't matter at all. And what I want to do is share some tips on how to be a love goddess, how to figure out what your vibe as a love goddess is, and to honor that because it's authentic. And by the way, guys, that's what makes it sexy. When you're authentic, that's hot.
Yes.
When you're not, it's so boring.
Well, guys or girls, you know?
Absolutely.
I mean, just the other partner, it's whatever, you know, they identify with. So how do we get in touch with this Aphrodite or Venus aspect?
Well, there's a lot of ways. Of course, you can do all the classical things, and you probably heard the story of Venus and how she slayed the Titans. Did you hear that one?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was basically that she walked out. Everybody, all the other gods from Mount Olympus walked off. They were terrified. They all fled. And here comes Venus, and she walks out onto the field of battle to stand against the Titans, and she drops her robe, and she's standing there in her golden girdle, and she looks at them all.
She slays them with her body.
She slays them. She drops her golden girdle.
I thought that's how it went.
She looked around, and they're all like, we bow to you.
Okay, enough.
You win.
You win, Uncle.
Let's get that up there. Okay.
So...
It's very, very sweet. So, of course, there's traditional things like how we dress ourselves, how we You know, like I ask people all the time, like, when was the last time that you bought new underwear, new sleepwear, a new robe, beautiful bath salts, anything that you think of as sort of traditional, even if you love chocolate? Like, when was the last time that you bought that for yourself?
So we're talking about sensual things.
Yeah, sensual is part of it. But, you know, love is so much bigger than that. And to put that inner love goddess into a box and say that all you are is sensual is missing out on all the other components that it has to offer.
Give us those components.
Give the components.
Yes.
So I often think about, when I think about attraction, one of the things that's most attractive in a person is an authentic laugh. Things that are fun, laughter, being silly, being irreverent, and just having that wonderful fun time. Like, it's fun, you know, and it's very magnetic. Another thing that is, because, you know, it's not just about the sexual, sensual aspect, it's also about comfort.
Right.
Because love is incredibly comforting. I mean, if you are in pain, and that soft, expansive, comforting energy is available to you, then that is also a form of love that we want to honor and respect. One that doesn't get talked about a lot is independence.
That's a new twist.
I think when you honor your independence, it makes a huge difference in whether or not you're attracting people in that can see you as somebody that has a standard of, I like myself enough to invest in myself. So if you want someone to invest in you, you have to be willing to invest in you.
So actually, well, does the independence have to do with when Venus was standing out there independent and alluring, then that vested the audience in her accoutrements?
Well, she wasn't willing to give up what she needed, right?
Right.
She wasn't willing to settle. She was like, everybody else is all running and going to go live in the hills. And she's like, excuse me, I belong in the palace.
So
how this works.
How does she differ from Aphrodite? How do you see Aphrodite?
I think Aphrodite is incredibly of the sensual and the beauty side. Venus has a little bit more of that, the Roman influence. There's a little bit more war energies in there. But you know, one of the things that both of them don't, we talk about them in terms of love, but it's also in terms of worth. Because they bless our money as well.
Yeah.
So that's, and what that means in our society, it's not just about making money, it's about being worthy. And so a lot of times people get hung up on, they feel like they don't deserve. Well, if you don't give to yourself, if you're not willing to give to yourself, why would anybody else be willing to give to you? And it also doesn't inform you knowing what you want.
Yeah. So how does this all relate to dating in the new age now? Like,
I love dating in the new age.
Different than what it used to be. And we were talking about this the other day, but a lot of women my age, in their 50s, are finding themselves single, and they don't know how to relate to dating in this new age at all.
Well, you got to bring that element of fun to it. Okay, so like if you're trying to do it too seriously or too worked up about like dating online, well, oh my gosh, yes, it's great to date online. Are you kidding me? So much easier. It's a really unpopular opinion.
You can weed out a lot of shades.
It doesn't take long to figure out what somebody's made of. It takes you like about a week to figure out like what you're, you know, the people that you would even want to have a cup of coffee with, you know?
I know.
So, I mean, and here's another thing about dating. I'm going to talk about it early on because I think that, first of all, your dating is a commitment you make a lifetime. So you're saying somebody finding themselves. Yeah, right? Like over your lifetime. So you don't get complacent. Right?
But we do that. We get complacent.
We get very complacent.
That's the problem.
We take it for granted. So if you want to keep it fresh, you got to keep working at it, which means that you have to work at yourself, but you also have to work at the relationship dynamic. And so, oh, look at all the hearts. I love you guys so much.
Thank you. I'll go back and the way that I have this set up, it's hard to see.
It's not even on my screen.
Oh my God.
Lean in. Come here. Quit fighting me.
Hey, come Lana. Okay, so there's Lana, Jennifer, Ricky. Hey, Susan, Phyllis. Let me get out my shout outs. Cousin Martha, love you. Hey, Leanne. Hey, Georgia Dixie. Julie, hi. And Jeff, thank you for tuning in, Jeff. I kind of was badgering you about that a little bit. Hey, Jennifer, Susan, Margaret. Hey, Ricky. Ricky, pay attention. You are a single man. You need to pay attention. Hey, Susan, Debbie, Ellen, and Bonnie. You need to pay attention, too. We got to get you a decent person. Whitney, Melissa. Hey, Melissa. Tell Cleo hi. Hey, Joshua. Benita.
Oh, my goodness.
Ariana, hey, peace out. David Riles, thank you for tuning in. So let's get back to dating in the new age. It's different.
Well, it's fun.
It's not just for singles. If you're going to be in a relationship, if you're going to be married, you're still dating.
You're dating.
So
forever.
how would you suggest a married couple date?
Well, the same way I would suggest a single couple date.
Is like David supposed to call me and say, "Are you free Friday night?"
Well, this is what I think. I think if you think that's hot,
it might be, yeah.
Then yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's about meeting the needs that each other can have, and also you have to learn how to communicate those needs.
That brings us to point number 3.
Point number 3. We're going to come back to the sabotage, though.
Yes, we'll come back to the sabotage. Point number 3 was get what you want by knowing what to ask for.
Yep. You
like,
gotta
open
know.
your mouth and ask for what you want. You can't expect, like, we're psychics, but
yes.
You can't expect your spouse to be psychic and just know what you want.
And also, it's not empowered. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I always talk about this. I talk about 3 levels in your own comfort. There's the level that's down here, which is this sort of like, I don't know how to do anything. I need you to help me. And I mean, sometimes that can be kind of a fun thing to play, but it's not actually all that attractive. Mm-hmm. You know, we become very clingy. We become very... Then there's a level above that, which is like independent, fiercely so, though.
That's that Venus.
It is a little Venus. It's more attractive than being down here where you're pitiful. Mm-hmm. But up here where it's like, I can do it myself. I don't need you to do that for me. Don't you open doors for me. I got that. You know, like, really?
That's not attractive.
That's not sexy. Of course you can open the door yourself, but it's a lot more fun if he does it for you. Mm-hmm. Or it's a lot more fun if that's not what you want, you don't have to be ugly about it.
Well, I guess it's the energy that you're vibrating at that moment. If you're offended by somebody trying to show some kind of affection by opening a door for you, that offense is a negative vibration that will just turn the whole thing upside down.
Well, and think about this. So Venus, who is her main lover? It's Mars. Well, when we think of Mars, what do we think of? Like masculine, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to give men an opportunity to be masculine, or our partners. If we're in same-sex couples and one partner prefers more masculine energy, then we want to do that too.
Right.
So we want to just really make sure that we're letting the energy, and it's fun.
Letting their natural energy come out.
Where else can you play that role? You certainly can't do it at work.
No.
Right? Like, you're not even allowed to touch. God, I feel so bad. Like, I could touch. I could put my hand on your shoulder and you wouldn't think I was coming on to you. But if I were a man and I did this, it would be really hard. And it's kind of unfair when you stop and think about it. Like, that's an innocent touch, right?
Yeah.
But we have to be so guarded. So where else are you going to get the opportunity to sort of play those roles, which are critical to who we are? Mm-hmm. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I keep freezing there. My alarm. Sorry, guys. The alarm clock's going off. For whatever reason, it's reminding me that there's an alarm on there.
It is fun. So let's go back to self-sabotaging. Mm-hmm. So tell us what that is exactly.
Well, you can sabotage yourself when you get on this, I almost call it like a high horse type of energy, where instead of being like, it's fun, and it's like, you think about, what do you want your relationship to give to you, and what do you want to give in your relationship, right?
Like your goals.
Yeah, like, well, what is the energy that you want? Like, I want a place that I can just be myself, have fun, be sexy, be funny, be smart aleck, maybe be a little bit of an instigator from time to time. I want a source of a space that I can be inspired. I'm creative. So I want to gather my inspiration in many ways from my dynamic within my romantic relationship. So people sabotage when they get all in their head. And they're thinking, and they're not in here.
They're not experiencing.
They're not letting things be. I mean, some of the greatest things that you can do are unplanned.
Yes, exactly.
Moments that like create stories that, and we get so hung up on everything has to be The Notebook, or everything has to be, which I love that movie, by the way, or everything has to follow this linear course, and we get really messed up. Instead of, one of the things that women do, and especially women, and sometimes men do it too, but I find that a man takes one step forward, and a woman takes 5. They're going too fast? Well, it's like, it's a back and forth. There's synergy between the give and take. So if men enjoy giving to women. That's a masculine trait. Whether you're, again, if you're in the masculine energy, you want to give. That's a masculine thing. Well, a lot of women start giving in order to manipulate that they're going to get back. Okay. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't run ahead.
No.
Okay.
No. Keep pace. It's so much more attractive when you keep pace, and it's a little back and forth. It's like good conversation.
I think if you run too far ahead, then the guy's going, or the partner is going,
why is she so desperate?
What's going on with that?
Yeah, exactly. And when they start asking that question, you have to ask yourself that question too. What's going on with that?
So let's get back to one other thing before we have to get off of here. And that was getting what you want by knowing what to ask for.
Yeah, knowing how to ask for it.
A lot of people aren't comfortable asking for what they want.
Right, because they forget that you're supposed to flirt.
So is flirting part of getting or asking for stuff that you want?
It's communication with softness.
I like that.
Like if I need to inform you that maybe there's something you did that I don't really appreciate, you can be real snappy, but oh wow, that's not
going to be taken real well.
No,
and the person is going to be resistant.
It's pressure.
Yeah,
and Venus is anything but putting pressure. So her energy, the energy of the love goddess, is anything but putting pressure on. Instead, it's more enticement, magnetic. And so, if you need to communicate something, like say somebody maybe doesn't do something, and it could be something small, like maybe they don't hold the chair for you out, or they don't pull the chair for you out, and you would really enjoy that.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, well, you didn't put the chair out for me, or you didn't call me, this is one that a lot of women do. Why isn't he calling? He's just sending me text messages. Well, do you know why he's texting? Because he doesn't know it's okay to call you.
Right.
So a way to communicate that is either via text, saying something like, hey, I'm jetting all around. If you ever feel like, you just want to pick up the phone and call me, that would be great. I'm free if you want to chat now or some other time. Just letting them know that it doesn't always have to be a text. Or you can do something really avant-garde, which a lot of women are kind of like, ooh, I don't know that I would want to call him first. But if you have a reason to call him, like let's say you see something so funny or so perfect, or there's something, you can call and say, hey, I'm just thinking about you. I was out and I see that they have this thing that you're looking for. Like you have to have a reason to call, but it doesn't have to be so formal. And then they know, oh, look, I can actually call her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a soft way of kind of
and learn to
flirty.
To use your emojis. Like if you deliver a message via text, there's a thing called a wink.
Okay, so this brings me into I want to get to this before our time is up, but you're offering couples reading, but it's so much more than a couples reading.
Well, couples or singles, it's a Cupid reading.
A Cupid reading.
Getting confident with Cupid.
Tell me about this. What is this entail?
This is very special. I'm actually going to do this only for 2 weeks. From tonight.
Oh my gosh, you guys need to hop on this.
Okay, it's not just a reading. So I'm going to give you a reading, and that reading is we're going to underline where you're not confident in your love energies. Okay. Where you're not putting out the vibe that you want to be getting back. We're going to find out what the root of all of that is, and then I'm going to, one of my things, girl, I'm into my ceremonies.
Yeah.
And so
that's exciting.
Yeah, right.
Because you know what? When you have this ceremony, you're not going to just use it this one time. They can use it again and again and again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us more about that.
So ceremony is the art of transformation with spiritual assistance. And I create custom ceremonies. And that's what the Confident with Cupid is offering, is a custom ceremony. So it will be for you and specifically what you are dealing with. Okay. And so I've got that on my website. It's only going to be there for a limited amount of time that you can book it. And
so tell everybody what your website is.
It's sabrinaweb.com.
And we'll put it in the comments section when we get done with the presentation. And so if you're interested in that, just go onto the website. And will there be an option on the website that they can choose for that?
Yeah, you just want to pick the Confident with Cupid. It's $150, which is a fabulous price for a custom ceremony. Yeah. And here's the cool thing about it. If you do the ceremony once, you can do it the next month at the same time, the next month at the same time, and it's going to amplify and build on itself.
That is cool.
Yeah, and it's so completely custom. So it's no two ceremonies are the same.
Effect when you do the ceremony over and over.
Yeah, and the more you do it, the more magnetic you become. So you're building that energy, and I teach people how to do that. And it's an hour of time. So it's a really good, a good chunk of time to get in there and get under everything and figure out what's going on.
Hey, Aria. Hey, Susan. I'm going to tab back and make sure that there's no questions. Let's see. Hey, Jean. Hey, Christina. Hey, Heather. Hey, Kyla. Hey, Karen.
See, I should go back and say hi to all my people, too.
Does anybody have any questions before we sign out? I want to talk about the fact that, your book is coming out, hopefully, when?
In 2017, for
2017,
sure.
Sometime this year.
It's
It's called Cosmic Seeker.
Cosmic Seeker.
What's it about?
My book is about my personal transformation story, overcoming some of the hardships that I talked about earlier on, going through, growing up in an environment that was in one way supportive and another way dealing with a lot of abuse and a lot of trauma. And then my spiral back through the trauma, going through domestic violence and all of that, and then coming to using ceremony and sacred transformation and how it really allowed me to lift and release everything. And I'm putting tons of ceremonies in the book. It's got mindset pieces, and it has pieces around how to use all the modern or how to use the tools. Like a lot of times people don't even know how to use the crystals. So,
no, they don't. and they need a little guidance with that.
Yeah. And so Cosmic Seeker is, I'm actually deep in the edits, and hopefully we're thinking, I love it that my face froze like that. You can't make that frozen face up.
Thanks for watching, you guys.
But yeah, I'm really excited about it. Thank you for letting me
you're welcome.
Share, because I can't wait.
Any other last minute thing you want to share with the audience on the Love Goddess aspect?
I do. One other little tip. You know what, guys? If you don't feel confident and you don't feel that energy, it's okay to fake it a little bit when it comes to that. Acting as if, not faking who you are. You want to be authentic, but faking the feelings of being confident. Like, how would you act if you were confident? Mm-hmm. And like a lot of people are like, oh, I could never be that flirty. And I'm like, sure you can. Yeah. You just got to practice.
But I guess putting yourself out there and into it, even if you don't feel confident about it, will help and train your energy.
It trains you. It trains you. It trains you. How do you want to be in your dynamic? Mm-hmm. So if you want to be healthy, you go to the gym and exercise, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's part of it.
It's exercising that.
It's exercising the flirtation,
change in persona.
Your persona, and just it's not changing who you are. It's putting a part of you out there that you've not gotten comfortable putting out there yet.
Yeah.
So it's okay to fake it till you make it. Just don't fake other things.
I love it. Don't fake who you are.
No, don't fake that.
Don't fake who you are. Okay, we need to hop off of here, but I want to ask you guys to share this with your friends on all your social media and hit the notifications on See First to follow and get these alarms when we're going to do a live show like this. And I do this live show every Monday night at 7 p.m. Next week's show is going to be on the 5 steps of emotional healing. And so go ahead and share this and hit the notifications, and we'll see you next week. And I want to thank Sabrina for coming on the show.
I love
Our love goddess.
Thank you, Kathryn.
Bye, guys. Kisses from Kentucky. Bye.